the headphones, doesn't matter. It's a good choice.
Absolutely. Well, welcome back, you guys, to the 2014 Sprint Promotion Tournament, live from our studio in Los Angeles, California. Before we get to Game 3 between EG and Determined, I want to get your take on the first two matches, guys, because what seemed very apparent for me, especially in Game 2, is that EG seems to synergize like a team that's been around for a long time.
Exactly. These guys really came in and they've been individually making plays, but the whole team is able to follow up on it. Whether it's Crepo flashing and starting a fight, Snoopy running in and charging through, everything that EG does has follow through, and it's always seeming to work for these guys. Everything they do tends to work out.
The play that really sold it for me, that EG is working as a team and not individuals and like to be determined, is the play at the Barren River in the middle of the game, in which some went for one guy, the other ones tried to save Renekton, and in the end, EG made the one unified call and was able to take that fight, I think, 3-0. And seeing that play right there, you know that EG is playing as a team, while the other ones are playing as more individuals and aren't really necessarily making the correct thing, because you can't take on the team playing as 5 individuals players. You need to be one unit that plays and makes the same call and follows it through.
Yeah, if we have the synergy on one side, we do feel that Determined on the other side, can I say, is underperforming?
I really think so. Now, in some cases, you've got players like Westrice who've done very, very well. I think he's won lane both times he's played so far, whereas Arthlon's actually been really suffering. He's lost his lane both times. The Mundo game was really, really rough. This game as well in Oriana, he didn't have a very good time of it either. And even beyond just laning, though, I think Champ Select as well has been really awkward for these guys. If you think back to Game 1, they've got 2 guys for resets. They've got Kha'Zix and Jinx is so good at following up on Burst with the Execute Ultimate. And then for their other solo, they run Mundo, who wants to fight like really long duration, non-bursty team fights, and so they're even missing champion on champion synergy, not even just player on player synergy.
Do you feel that way too, that they have a mismatch from champion select on?
Yeah, I agree. You know, coming into this game, you know Arthlon as one of the players that likes to bring innovation to mid lane. He often goes into side lanes and plays bruisers. Like we've seen him play Elise middle lane. That's not something that anybody pulls off. And playing against Ziggs, I feel like they need to do something against it, because Ziggs is such a strong lane bully right now that it's really limiting Arthlon's champion pools of unconventional picks, and it sort of restrains the team as to what they want to play. So I think if they want to move on to the next game, not only do they have to do something about Ziggs so that they can get comfortable with their own champion picks, they need to lift up their spirit. So if they have a coach or they have somebody that can say, you know, we're still in this, you know, it's best of 3. We got to win 3 games in a row. We've done this before. Like, get back into it, because if they keep playing how they're playing right now, I don't see them being able to take down EG.
Yeah, it is actually a trademark of our promotion series that teams come back from V&O to them, so maybe that can happen. Freak, what do you think are maybe bans or picks that to be Determined would have to prioritize in order to do that?
I think one really important one, as you mentioned, Crumbzz, is that Dr. Mundo. I think it's throwing a really big wrench into everything. Inox has been playing extremely well at holding onto his lane and then making the teleport plays. I think he's been doing a much better job than his counterpart. In Game 1, that was an underperforming Arthlon on teleport, and then Game 2, it's been Inox just making a lot of plays just by himself as the only teleport on the map. I think that's a big one. You've got to that one as well, right? You limit the Inox champion pool. You maybe get rid of Dr. Mundo, because I don't think it worked very well for Determined, but I think you also limit out the Ziggs, and then you kind of deal with the rest of the picks, and then you kind of play from there.
Okay, so you guys, what do you think? Is Determined going to come back, or will EG close it out?
I want to say that Determined can put up a fight. I think they definitely have it in them to go for at least one more game to beat EG in one of the games. Now, personally, it takes quite a bit of a miracle for them to be able to win 3 games in a row, seeing how Evil Geniuses is playing. I could see them taking 1 or 2 games off, but I don't see Determined to be able to win the series.
Yeah, right now it seems like the teams that have started doing very well have continued doing well. EG looks more on form. I think they'll take the 3rd game.
All right, well, thank you very much, guys. And now it's time to check out our favorite answers to our second Twitter question of the day. Of course, earlier today, we asked you which North American teams would you like to see win their promotion tournament series and why. And here's what you had to say. The first one is from M. Walters40. It says, Curse for sure. They're a solid team, and they finish 4th a lot, but I'd like to see Curse break their curse.
You know, going into this Curse versus Cognitive matchup, the fans that Curse has are not really fans of this new lineup. We haven't seen these players play together in competitive play ever, actually. You have I Will Dominate, was previously on Team Dignitas and was just back into the scene right now in the jungle. We have Quas, a relatively new player to the scene who was on what is now known as the Walking Zed. And then we have Zekin as support with Voyboy switching roles. So it's a really new team that I think is very ambitious because they all really want this and it's their lives right now. I think the ambition that Crumbzz has is something that some of the current LCS teams lack and most amateur teams do have. And I think that's going to get them the edge over Cognitive in the series.
Okay, that's a matchup we're going to see play out on Sunday, of course. The second tweet is from @BowHunterX. I want to see EG in the LCS just to see how the Snoop crew will do against America's best teams and especially against Cloud9.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, these guys are doing very, very well. And when we talked about the matchup before it even started, we said, you know, will Pobelter hold up? He's been kind of hit and miss. Inox, not a ton of experience on him. He's doing incredibly well. And the other three, they're looking like the experts they are. EG looks really good.
Absolutely. And then the final one is from @GordonRamseyLol. I wonder if he's good at cooking. I want to see Determined Gaming making it into the LCS because I want to see more of Arthlon's unconventional picks.
I kind of agree with that one as well. It'd be nice to see him. I like the players that do crazy, innovative things. It's fun to see the dudes who break the mold and say, no, actually, here's going to be the new thing, and people have to deal with it. I want to see the innovation in this series. It might be the thing that keeps his team alive, and we'll see if it comes out.
Yeah, it might be the key to the game for Determined. Now, remember to keep hitting us up with your answers. We're @LOL.